two things. Not everybody, in every society, there are different strata of people.
Oh, yes.
So the people who built Singapore, the elite, the privilege, we have privilege. So we are not hungry. Things are not going well, but we are not as hungry as everybody else. So that's why I said there's a leadership failure. So religious or moral leadership, political leadership, and technocratic leadership are not as hungry as ordinary people. They must do the thinking. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, adversity can also provoke you to think. So the fact that you are trying to survive does not mean that you cannot think about your values. Because you see,
True.
he's talking about values, he's talking about norms. So the fact that I'm hungry doesn't mean I should vote for corrupt people. Do you get me? And that's what I'm saying, that we fail people by not instilling the right values in them. So the people who hold the moral compass, they themselves are falling short. So they cannot speak truth to power, neither can they inculcate any new values. So, and that's not because people are hungry, it's because leaders have failed to lead. So the fact that there are hungry citizens, he said that the time that he was in school, his GDP was the same as that of Ghana.
Yeah.
And I'm sure majority of the population was like him. But those who had privilege said, we know what, this privilege will not last if we don't bring other people along. And that's our fundamental failure.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So for me, it goes back to leadership, because everything rises and falls on leadership.
Oh, certainly.
And so when people come to power and say, well, it's the citizens, then it means you are an imposter. Because no true leader blames citizens for the behavior that his policies permit. Do you understand? So if you are not leading properly, then you think everything's about the citizens. Oh, our people. Leadership sets the tone. He says in the Western world, they call it checks and balances. In the Eastern, they call it the moral right to lead.
Yes.
The sacrifices, and I'm saying so I use the term socio-cultural leadership.
Yes.
Religious leadership, media. All right, the creative spaces have also not highlighted the right things. So we even have like media programming, which is supposed to help people rethink about their reality. We don't do that. So they use, and you see, survival is not an excuse not to develop.
No, it's not.
So for example, if you're a movie maker, you can say, well, things are hard, so let me just do the shortcut. But what you're doing is not just making money, you're also trying to change minds. And if you in the long run, it's what brings change that to sustain the money you make. So even if you do shortcut and do 2x4 movie because you want to make money, that money will be spent quicker because there's no proper system around it. So I'm just appealing that we must accept the responsibility to lead even in our own space. Okay, I could say it's easier to bring people to come and argue about politics because I'll get more views. There are certain people when I bring on TV, I get more views. There are sometimes I don't want to bring them. It's not because I don't like views. Because in the long run, it's not the views. It's about whether what I'm doing is changing minds. Okay? And so the organizations also have the sense to know that if it's just about doing what is normal, so you can succeed now, that success has no future because at the end of the day, it's built on a foundation of sand. So even with media work, we have to lead. Okay, that's why sometimes you get up and say, okay, today I'm not going to do any of the normal things. Because once the people think about their reality different, they will change their behavior. All right? And our political system is broken. It's not, I mean, are you telling me we are running a meritocracy? Even within the NPP, are you telling me that the people in position are the best people? Even within that party, if you want to be honest about it. If you want to, let's call it a spade. If you look at the guys, I mean, I don't want to mention names, so it look like Are you telling me that in the people in some of them, even Robert Aonka Lindsay, he was removed. Who replaced him? Is that a meritocracy? Why? How? Just are we running the thing because we want to get the best to do the work, or is because the people are in the party and they have a certain stature in the party? That's why he said it's not about loyalty to party. If you put the country first, there are so many people you put in position, you put them there. How can an MP be in the UK or US for whatever month? A ministry that has 21 departments, which LEAP has not been changed since 2015. And you are telling me that she's the only person who can run that ministry. I'm not picking on Adjoa Safo. I have nothing against her. But if you're in a hurry to develop a country, you keep her there. She does a TikTok video, comes up and says, for a third world country that is hungry for development, come on. You can't tell me that you can't find somebody in that party to lead that ministry with 21 departments. Go to the department. Go and ask the World Bank. When was the last time they made a requisition for money? When was the last time they came up with a new program that will take children off our streets? You are paying 32 cedis a month. People are paying 13.99 cedis for fuel. And your most effective social program in your most important ministry, the minister is somewhere. And for almost 2 years, you haven't even given a statement on it. You can't tell me that's a meritocracy. It's not because of politics. Let's call a spade a spade. Is that the kind of thing you heard him say? Do you know what a meritocracy means? So we have to decide what we want as a country. We have to make a decision as a people, what we want to promote. We have to decide if we want to develop or to continue being the offscaring of the world, where everybody... sometimes when I go to Western airports, my heart just breaks. It's like, why are you coming to my country? Like, I don't even want to be in I don't even want to travel. This is when they invite me to conferences, I don't even want to go. I want to do it on Zoom. For 2 years, I haven't traveled. I don't want to go anywhere. What am I going to do? You know, it's like, will you return? And all these kind of foolish questions. Because you hold a Ghanaian passport from West Africa, your country cannot be governed properly. You're always begging and things. Why? We need to have respect. We need to build a society. And you see, it will not happen in our lifetime, but if you're not prepared to pay the price for it, if you're not prepared to sacrifice, you can never create a good society. And we must elect leaders who sacrifice for the nation. Let's forget about this political jargon. And our own prejudice and our own myopic partisanship is what the politicians play on to use to cheat us every day. Because they know that because you are aware, you vote NDC. And because you are Ashanti, you vote NPP. So they'll keep doing it to you. And you pay for it because you don't think beyond your little tribe. That's the issue. So every day, you go on social, they're always there waiting for people to insult. Partisanship is what the political class use to deceive us every day. People must wake up. Our political leaders have failed us. They are not doing the right thing. We must demand accountability. We deserve better. And this is why we have to all be more interested in what happens in our country. Interested in the economy. Look at where we are with the economy. Look at the situation we are facing. Look at your faces.
What else do you want us to say? What else do you want us to say? That we don't.
I'm not sorry. I'm attacking you.
No, we say.
Hold on, P.
The point is, it gets to.
You make broke for
it. You see, it gets to a point. You see, it gets